What's up, folks? It's Regina, the Sweary Stitcher. I am joined today by Miss Bella Jane, who just can't leave me alone. Like, has to be in my lap all the time. Um, she's really been doing that a lot today because my in-laws left Friday, 2 days ago, and my husband is gone at a shooting tournament with his buddies this weekend. So went from having everybody in my house all the time to having just me and the wild things, and it's been interesting. This is what I've had all weekend. Standing on my lap, looking for something to bark at. She's blind and deaf. So, yeah, I just get this the whole time. I got up this morning, I made coffee, I was going to sit and stitch, and I had two dogs in my lap that were taking up my entire lap. And I'm hoping she lays down in a second, but I don't know. So it's going to be a me and Bella video. Anyway, I recorded a video like 3 weeks ago and then realized I said something I probably shouldn't have said that was possibly offensive, and so I didn't post it. But anyway, yeah, I think way too much about these stupid things. Oh. And then I just like second guess myself, and so then it doesn't happen. Anyway, puppy run was great. Got all the dogs to their respective families, and that was good times. We had some poopsidents in the car, a lot of pee. But I had bought like 50 puppy pads because the other option was 10, and that seemed like it would be cutting it a little too close. Yeah, so it was fine. My car's fine. But anyway, oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm telling you. It's been the whole weekend like this. Just bark, 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 and sit on my lap and jump around on my lap and like move around 18 times. Anyway, I don't even know what I was working on last. I think it was like one of the dog panels for the This Is Fine meme. Anyway, finished that. It's just waiting on the text. And then super plot twist, like out of nowhere, just random. I decided to do a Sunbonnet Sue sampler. It's so out of character for me, but I don't know. I don't even know which part came first. If I came across the Sunbonnet Sue sampler first, or if I was like, you know what, I need to find that pattern for that sampler my mom designed in like the 80s, or turns out to be 90s, I think. I was like, oh, I need to get that. It's the Bella Show. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. So, anyway, my mom designed a sampler like back when I was a kid, and it got published in a magazine or a pamphlet. So I decided that I needed to have that. I don't know why. It's not like I'm like have a fantastic relationship with my mom all the time, or I was feeling particularly sentimental at that moment. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, I found it on eBay for 99 cents. And then I just waited very impatiently for it to get there because it made it from like Kansas to Dallas in 2 days. And then it took it 7 days to get from Dallas to me. pretty sure there was a guy walking it down the interstate to me. But yeah. And then it was also during that time that a dude was mailing bombs in Austin. So that was cool. You didn't really know what was going to be in the mail. And of course, that happened when I had like 3 packages coming my way. So awesome. But everybody's fine. They found the guy. He's no longer an issue. Oh my God, my camera is having like seizures right now. Or not my camera, but the stupid laptop Chromebook is. It's the Me and Bella show. Guys, I'm so tired. I missed out on my second cup of coffee because I had 2 jerks in my lap and they wouldn't get out of my lap to let me get up and get another cup of coffee. Perfect. So anyway, finally got this pattern. My mom's sampler is the back cover piece of this booklet that's like 17 samplers. I was like, holy crap. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the Lesley Teare Sunbonnet Sue sampler. God damn it, I keep saying that. The Sunbonnet Sue stitch along, and I'm modifying it because my mom's sampler, that's where I'm getting the sampler part from. My mom's sampler has an Amish boy and girl in the middle, and they look very similar to like Sunbonnet Sue. So what was the purpose of that? She had to get up and like half turn around, but then settle back into the exact same position. And yet I had to stop and so if anybody wants a 14-year-old cocker is what I'm saying, you know, I got this blind and deaf one that's like fantastic. She really loves if you rub the spot where her ears used to be. She had the ablation thing, so she actually doesn't have any ear canals. You can't poke her in the ear because they sewed it shut. Took out the calcified part, sewed it shut. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, she's sweet. She got a great face. She got so much great face. Hey, show him your eyes. Say hi. Say hi. She has really bad cataracts too, so that's why I say she's blind. She's like 3/4 blind, 3/4 deaf. Not enough of either one. Back to stitching. So I took the Lesley Teare Sunbonnet Sue stitch along and modified it. I took the border because it was like a 3x4 or something like that. Took the border, made it my mom's colors. My God, Bella. She's like licking it from the back. Anyway, I made it 4x4 so that I would have that open space in the middle. And I'm going to put my mom's, I don't even know if you can see that. I'm going to put my mom's boy and girl there in the middle. And then the phrase that she stitched on hers, which was like, memories are the most cherished keepsakes. And I plan on doing this as like I guess, Christmas birthday present because her birthday is right around Christmas. Yeah, that sucks. I'm a shitty kid because I combined her Christmas and birthday presents. But at this point, honestly, getting anything is difficult. So that's a whole thing. And it's a whole thing. Anyway, so I'm stitching the calendar girls. Enough. See, Dusty barks because he thought he heard something, and then Bella barks because she heard him, and then he barks because clearly she heard something, and it just goes on, and that's been my entire weekend. Like I've had to have the TV up really, really loud. Sorry, her nose was really wet, so like wiping it on myself. Anyway, I'm gonna call them the calendar girls because there's one for each month, and I'm gonna do them clockwise around the squares. Yeah. So I did the border in my mom's colors because she really was into that like mauve, dusky rose, and country blue. And then her motif that she used in the corners of hers was a little quilt square. So I put that in. And yeah, and I did Miss March, and I'm working on Miss April. And they're not all like just girls or anything like that, but it's kind of fun to call them calendar girls, so that's what I'm going to do now. Decided that on the fly. Anyway, that's what I have done. I did stitch the entire red all the way around before I decided to make the corner motifs my mom's. So I stitched the red as like from the original pattern, and so there was a red stitch inside these little open spots right there, but it kind of made the quilt star look not awesome, and I didn't want to frog it, but I did. At this point, I have like a repetitive use frogging injury. Like this finger feels weird, like hurts at certain angles and stuff, like the frogging angle. It's like great, that's awesome. I frogged all of my unicorn butt because it was on one-off rainbow dyed fabric from Misty of Mystic. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, Misty. Mystic cross stitch, Mystic hand dyed cross stitch fabrics. I don't fucking know. Anyway, I linked her in one of my past videos. I'll try and do that again if I can figure out how the hell to work a computer. Anyway, but that was on a one-off rainbow dye, and I was like, no, I didn't like the coverage that was on it, and it was hurting my finger to try to get stitches through it because I was trying to use 4 strands on 14 count. So I frogged all of that and totally like jacked my finger. Worth it because I'm never going to be able to get a rainbow dye from Misty again. I probably could if I asked her. I don't know. But yeah, so now I have this like repetitive frogging injury. And I frogged all the red and I put it back in so that there weren't stitches in any of these like corner edges. Those aren't words that I wanted to use. I don't know. Anyway, it looks so much better now. And because I'm naughty, I'm going to show you my backs. Would you look at that? Are you kidding me? How perfect. And I did it for the whole thing. Ha 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 ha. I don't even remember how I did it, but I'm stitching in hand now using the sewing method. And I'm stitching on Aida, like Fiddler's Cloth Aida. Thank you, Carrie, for giving me that, because I would never have bought that, but yeah, we did a fabric swap one day. Anyway, I'm completely going against everything that I do on this one. I'm stitching in hand on Aida using the sewing method. And I generally stitch now on even weave in a Q snap and do like the stab and stab, stab and stab, stab and stab. I don't know what's come over me. I'm stitching faster, which is cool, but I don't know what's up with, kind of like, what's up with this hair right here and this over here. I just have like catfish horns. Yeah, let's just do full like devil horns or something. Oh yeah, there you go. That's awesome. Come on, stand up. If you're gonna do it right. There we go. I look like the goat version of the devil. awesome. Anyway, so this is completely against everything. Like, I'm this snarky, crabby bitch most of the time. And here I'm stitching Sunbonnet Sue and these little Amish children and smarmy sayings, and I have no idea. And I'm stitching on oatmeal fucking Ada. I fucking hate oatmeal Ada. I hate oatmeal anything. Nothing has to be brown. Stop using all these browns. There are more colors than brown. But it's a thing, and people really, really like to stitch on like tea and coffee dyed stuff and muted colors and kind of country feel, or not even country feel. My God, I'm driving Bella nuts. Look at this. Now I have to hold her like a baby. Anyway, that's not what I like. I like these bright, vibrant rainbow fabrics from Misty, and I'm stitching a unicorn on it in B5200. But this one is fiddler's cloth and oatmeal, and I have no idea. I don't know what's come over me. It's weird. But anyway, I pulled all the threads and I did it in kind of a combo. So like this ring on this side has my mom's color palette. Oh yeah, dusky rose, garnet, country blue. Yeah. And then this ring is all the ones from the stitch along. There we go, that's better. So I'm kind of meshing them when I see fit and not when I don't. And my mom's little Amish girl is in greens. And I was going to kind of make like the different Sunbonnet girls in green. And then I decided, nah, fuck that. One, to be difficult. And two, no. This is how I make decisions. I'm like, yeah, fuck that. Oh my God, stop licking me. Jesus. I'm going to have to film when my husband's home next time. I'm sorry, my computer is having color seizures. So this whole video is just going to make you sick. Single mommy. This is just like how it goes. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing. And I am also started using the Kindle Fire for my patterns, which is also different for me because I always print my pattern and highlight on it, but I'm using the Kindle. My dog has a licking condition that she's insane and won't stop licking, and she licks the air, and then I just mess with her and it makes it worse. I love this. This is my favorite. Anyway, oh, I have my unicorn project like right here in my bag. I absolutely love this sewing bag, made by a Syrian refugee family that are living in Canada. My God, I don't know how cameras work, but this is like super thick fabric and it's sewn really well. And I thought it would be too small, but actually a ton of shit fits in here. And then there's this little tie on the top that I thought I would not use at all, but I love that because now when it falls over in my car, it doesn't vomit everything on the floor. So, yeah. I like it. So I'll show you my fabric for the unicorn. And the design is like majestic unicorn, and I got it off Etsy, and I can't tell you the seller because I don't fucking know. But anyway, I'll see if I can find it. But the pattern is one of those that it's the unicorn shape, but then the fill of it is floral. So it's this really cool floral pattern, but I changed it and I'm stitching it in B5200 because I have this really awesome fabric. And in case you don't believe me, would you look at this? Oh, this color's coming out so shitty. This is so vibrant and awesome in person. But I have this rainbow. I would try turning off the light so you could see it a little better, but no. Okay, so now it's a little less backlit, side lit. Jesus Christ, my fucking Chromebook. Oh my god. Anyway, it's this gorgeous rainbow. I really want it to show up better. Maybe that'll do it. Because it doesn't have me to contend with in my bright wall. Anyway, fucking gorgeous. Amazing. Love it. Oh, that comes out a little better. And I gridded it because I don't want to fuck up. And I'm an idiot because I have this piece of fabric and I was like, well, I don't want it to just be on like half the rainbow. I want the whole thing. So I decided to double this pattern. No big deal. Just gonna stitch it twice as big. But when you double something, you're doubling it this way and doubling it this way. So each X on the pattern is 4 X's on your fabric. And that takes a long time. And it's going to be enormous. It's going to be the full size of that fabric. I think I just found the needle I thought I lost. I swear to God, life is a shit show lately. I had this whole like medication issue, which is what I mentioned in a way that was probably not appropriate. In my last video that I didn't post. Antidepressants, mood stabilizers, they're fucking amazing. And if you can't make your own neurotransmitters, store-bought is fine. And they keep me functional. Like, I can live without spending all day being like, oh my God, you idiot, you're such a fuck up, blah, blah, blah. Which was my life before. Anyway, they're really touchy. Fucking really, really touchy. And I switched from having my insurance company do like mail order meds where they send me 3 months at a time because I fucking hated it and I could never order it on time. And then I would end up going without my meds, which is really bad. And my husband's insurance switched, and it was like a whole process. I couldn't order them online because his insurance switched. So the prescription was under his company got bought out. So the prescription was in there from the last company. And even though we have the same fucking insurance, it didn't transfer to the insurance for the new company. It was a whole fucking thing. I went like 2 weeks without meds. It was fucking retarded. So, and that's what I said in the last one, and that was what was inappropriate. I don't mean that derogatory. It's a word that I should take out of my vocabulary. I use it to mean crazy, stupid. I should probably take crazy out too, because I am fucking crazy, but anyway, whatever. I am not PC. If you're watching this, you probably know that because I'm the fucking sweary stitcher. But anyway, these medicines are really touchy. So I switched away from having my insurance mail them to me and back to where I can fill them at a pharmacy so that I can do it right then. I'm in control. I have to be in control of it. When they switched it to my pharmacy, it switched back to being an extended release pill, which I like. I like having extended release because then the amount in my system is the same all day. I think that would be a good thing for like psych meds. Things that are like a mood stabilizer probably shouldn't go woo woo in your system. But when they switched it to extended release, I am now at a point without birth control pills, which affected it and made it process out quicker. than it should have. Like, cut the half-life in half anyway. I'm ridiculously rambling. Anyway, when I switched back to extended release, it's now too much. Which makes me feel good because now I don't have to be on the highest dose. That's awesome. But when it's too high, it makes me stupid. Like, legitimately, I make really obvious, really ridiculous mistakes at work, like skipping whole sections of reports that I type 4 of them a day, in the exact same order with the exact same information. It's data entry. I don't know what was wrong with, well, I do know what was wrong with me, but that's how I start to notice it. So I get really dumb and I start making very obvious mistakes. And humble brag, I'm really good at my job, so I don't make those really ridiculous, obvious mistakes. And all of a sudden, they start cropping up again. And I didn't notice any of the other symptoms of when it's too high, which I lose vocabulary. I have a hard time concentrating. I zone out. I lose my train of thought. It's just a whole thing. But because I have trouble concentrating and remembering things and memory loss, I don't realize it's happening because I'm very not observant in that time period. So my boss is telling me, he's like, yeah, I wanted to tell you that, you screwed up these 3 reports and it's always the same thing. Like, you're skipping the very top part. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if you didn't feel good that day or what. I was like, that's weird. But it's now in my head that when I start to make really obvious mistakes, that maybe something's wrong with my medication. So I was like, all right, well, I went out to my car to call Mama and have her look at my prescription bottle. Because at one time, my pharmacy switched from 2 100 milligram pills to 1 200 milligram pill, and I didn't realize it, and I was taking 2 200 milligram pills, which is a double overdose. Like, it's double the highest dose. So I was like, well, crap, maybe they filled it different, and I'm not supposed to be taking as much as I am. I don't know. But I ended up going to the house because I tried to call my doctor's office and see, like, hey, did y'all change something? And they were at lunch. So I was like, all right, well, I'll just run home. I go home, and as I'm driving, which is only an 8-minute drive, I'm working things out in my head. And I was like, all right, well, if I'm overdosed, how am I overdosed? Because I'm pretty sure he wrote the prescription for 200 milligrams, but it is a new prescription, so maybe it's not. I don't know. And I'm putting things together, and I realize it's extended release now. Okay, well, maybe that means that I used to not have as much in my system all day, and now I do. Like, I take it at night, so maybe the biggest portion of it processes out at night. And now that it's extended release, it's just staying that biggest dose all day. So I go home and I look at my pill bottle. And I filled my prescription exactly 2 weeks ago. I texted my boss and I said, hey, how long have you been noticing that I've been screwing these up? He said, well, about a little over a week. Fuck. That lines up. Son of a bitch. So I have the pill bottle in my hand and I go out to the living room and I start to ask Mama and Pops, have you noticed these symptoms in me? Like fading out in the middle of a conversation, lack of focus, worse memory than usual, which is hard to tell because my memory is shit to start with. Have you noticed these things? And I just start crying. Because like, I hate to be out of control of what's going on. I need assistance from these drugs, but goddamn, they're touchy as fuck. And I don't want to be stupid, and I don't want to be causing issues at work, which I'm not. My boss is perfect, and he's fine with it. And he's like, hey, and that was the first thing that he had said to me. It wasn't like he was like, God damn it, Regina. He was just like, hey, I just noticed, you've been screwing these up and skipping this top section. I don't know what's going on. That was literally like as bad as it was. He didn't even, but I'm sensitive. So anyway, I'm crying, talking to Mama and Pops. And I text my husband and I'm like, hey, I need you to call me. I need to know if I think something's wrong with my medicine. I need to ask you if you've seen these things. And I ask him all of them, and I'm just a hot mess. Like, I just start crying. I'm tearing up now. But, yeah, so it turns out that the extended release was keeping too much of it in my system at a time. And so I already had a doctor's appointment like the next week, so I just called and rescheduled it to the next day. And I was like, oh, geez, something's going on. I need to fix this. And now I have a different issue because I was like, well, I like extended release, but I think I don't need as much anymore, which the step down would be 150 milligrams. He wrote it for 150 milligrams, not extended release. So I've gone down 2 steps. And these are so fucking touchy and ridiculous. And I don't know why I'm rambling on about my life, but honestly, you wouldn't tell somebody that was diabetic to just like pull themselves up by their bootstraps and not be diabetic and not have issues. So depression and anxiety are real. There are things you have to do for it. When you have diabetes, you have to take medicines for them. When you're super depressed and anxious and have horrible self-esteem, even though everything is fine and you've done a whole lot of really awesome things, you need medical intervention for it. Yeah. But anyway, so I feel like I'm better now. Bella's just walking around on shit on the floor, and then Dusty has to walk around and see the same thing just to make sure she didn't find anything awesome. Now he's crying just to tell me that he investigated and there's nothing really cool and he wants to go find something cool. Anyway, whole big long thing. I think my symptoms have relented, but I also think that maybe I'm a little too low on medicine now, and that would mean that I'm a little more depressed or mood swingy. And so I'm trying to figure out if I'm too low now, which would be I'm just a bitch, like all the time, like worse than usual. So now I'm watching that. Don't fuck with your meds, people. Don't fuck with your meds. Take them like you're supposed to and just enjoy relaxing times. 48-minute rant. I don't know. Anyway, I'm stitching on Sunbonnet Sue. I'm making it a mashup with my mom's sampler that she designed in like 93. And yeah, I need to get back on like watching FlossTube and things, because one thing you can't do when you're stupid is multitask. So I had to stop watching FlossTube at work, which sucked because I was watching all the backlog of Emily C, and it's really good that I can watch it at work. Just frying my little stir fry. Then I can watch it at work because then I have like 8 straight hours to watch stuff. And so I can watch years worth of FlossTube. Anyway, getting back to things now. I have to go turn my TV on really loud so that the dogs have something to listen to because they bark through FlossTube. And now I'm catching up on my backlog of SammyJ. Hey, Sammy. And I don't know where I'm getting all these, like, I don't know, I've had like 4 new subscribers in the last week or two. I don't know where people are coming from. God damn it, I missed my coffee. And I have a rule against having coffee after like 12:30 because then I feel like I won't sleep. Anyway, so I don't know where my new subscribers are coming from. If you can let me know, that'd be cool. I figure maybe somebody shouted me out or mentioned that they watch or something like that. So the most likely culprit would be Sammy. I don't know why I just got like stalker weird, like dee 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 dee. So anyway, I'm gonna go back to stitching, and I don't know when I'll see you again, but I'll see you again, and see you later from the Sweary Stitcher, and keep it snarky. Bye, guys.